Welcome back to Boss Up. I'm Nicole Jones, and on this show, we talk about how to start, grow, and sustain your business. I am back with Miss Dr. Eva Beaulieu. Thank you for joining us again. If you guys missed the first episode with Miss Eva, make sure you go back, pause, go back into that episode and listen to all the amazing gems that she shared with us. But on this episode, we're going to follow up our discussion to talk about more about the growth and sustaining a business, especially when it comes to a medical practice, our medical industry, as well as having your own business and being an author. So stay tuned. So thank you for coming back. I have so many more questions for you. I do want to just pick up from the last episode we talked about, which I thought was really good in terms of the growth factor of sustaining a business. You mentioned making sure that you are consistent and making sure that you have patience along with that process. So thank you for sharing that information. I'm not sure if there's anything else you want to just kind of wrap up into a nice pretty bow with that particular topic.
I always tell people, because I'm still learning along the way. You know, I went to school for medicine, not how to run a business, right? So I'm still learning along the way, but you also have to be open-minded.
Yeah.
Open to wanting to learn more, because the journey continues. You have to learn along the way.
Yep.
You have to be open to accepting people that can help you as well. A lot of times as women, especially Black women, we think we can do it all. And we tend to not ask for help. You know, we want to pick up all the pieces alone. And I've learned early on that in order to sustain, you have to learn when to ask for help. You know, delegate asking doesn't mean that you're weak. It doesn't mean that you're not as strong as you think. It doesn't mean that you don't know what you're doing. It actually is a good thing when you can delegate.
Yeah.
So having to learn how to juggle being a doctor, because I'm still working full time. Writing books, I do coaching, I have a blog, I'm doing the YouTube channel. I also have kids, you know.
That's a lot.
And they're little, they're young. I have a 10-year-old and an 8-year-old and a 13-year-old. Well, she just turned 14. But the kids are also a lot to juggle.
Yeah.
So I've learned early on that if in order for me to split myself in different ways and be able to grow and grow, I needed help.
Yes.
And it's okay to ask for help.
Yes.
It's needed. It's a form of self-care to ask for help.
Say that again.
You can't do it all by yourself. It's a matter of time until you burn out. So there's nothing wrong with saying, you know what, I need help. And it is what it is.
I love that. I love that. Yeah, that does speak to the sustainability piece of the business, where it's like at some point you have to realize I need to start enacting certain procedures, put certain people in place, have certain support system to get me through this chapter of my life and my business, because it requires it. And it is a form of self-care. I think we as in Black women have this concept of being a superwoman and the strong woman and being the matriarch of everything and want to take handle and hold of all things. We can do it. I'm not saying we can't do it.
Yeah.
However, we know where that leads.
Yeah, we don't want to be strong anymore. You know, we deserve to have all the help that everybody else is getting.
Yep.
There's nothing wrong with doing it all, but
exactly. I would say strength basically has a new definition.
Right.
So we do want to be strong, but the strength has a new definition where strength also equals asking for help, to your point. Being able to know, I just can't do it all. Let me reach out to family, friends, a nanny, my spouse, whomever, to help me in this process.
Listening to you as a person, listening to your body, listening to your mind.
Yes.
You know, if it's time for you to go to bed early, do that.
Yep.
If you need a day off, do that. If you need a vacation, do that. If you need to ask for help, do that. Instead of pushing yourself until you can't take it anymore. You can't pour from an empty cup. So you definitely have to care for yourself in order to be able to give out to others.
Yes. And this is spoken from the doctor, guys. You need to listen to her.
Right. Doctor's orders.
Doctor's orders. I love that. But no, we're laughing, but it's very serious, because we know somebody that knows somebody, if not immediate, we know somebody that knows somebody who's going through this, a woman in the family that's just trying to take on all of it, which is a whole nother discussion, just mental illness, mental health issues down the line that not only impacts that mother or that sister or whomever, but also impacts the kids that are involved with that as well.
Right.
So it's critical, it's important. Can't pour from an empty cup, to your point. It's just really important that we take care of self in order for everything else to cooperate the way it needs to. Any other people that you have support system with in your circle? You mentioned being able to delegate effectively.
Oh, yeah.
I'm all for that because I'm a project manager. So
Yeah.
I'm the person that's like, let's get the team together and aligned.
Girl, I delegate.
Yes.
And I delegate everything, okay?
I love
everything. I have someone help me with the kids for pickup, a nanny.
Yeah.
My husband does the extracurriculars when
Yep.
he can. If I can, I'll do it. I'm a delegator. Yeah.
It's important. It's really important.
And I feel no shame about it. It
Yep.
doesn't make me less of a mother. It doesn't make me less of a doctor. It just means that I'm actually listening to me, and I know what my limits are,
Yeah.
and I'm not gonna die doing things just because I want to do it by myself.
I'm curious, are any of your sons interested in being a doctor as well?
You know, they flip-flop.
Okay.
Sometimes they say they want to be a doctor. Sometimes they want to be a lawyer. Sometimes they want to be a basketball player. So I don't know.
I'm sorry, I should have said your kids because you mentioned your daughter as well.
Right.
So.
I don't know what they're going to be, but ultimately I really want to support them.
Yeah.
I want to push them to be the best that they can. I want them to know that no matter what they pick and no matter what they want to do, they'll have my support.
Yes, I love that. I love that. And on the topic of kids, let's pivot over to this book that just released.
Yes. So tell me
This is a big
where-
growth factor for you and just the many streams that you have created for yourself. Tell us more about this.
Tell me, where does it hurt? So I think that the future starts with the little ones, okay? You start teaching them confidence. You start showing them the way. You start having them listen to who they are and what they want to be. And a lot of little kids have never seen a Black doctor before. And a lot of them have never seen a Black woman doctor before.
Wow.
Because it's only 2.5% of doctors in the U.S. are female Black doctors.
Are you
which
kidding
is
me?
crazy. That's only 2.5%. That's nothing.
Wow.
Right? So we're fortunate to be in the Atlanta area where there is a lot of us. That's very rare. But some of these states, they've never seen a minority doctor before. So I wrote this book to show them this woman who is a Black woman. Her name is Dr. Eva Jones.
I love it. I love it.
She's a pediatrician. She takes care of the little kids, and she really listens to what they have to say, their complaints. She's inspiring to them. She helps them be better. I just wanted the kids to just have stories that they can read with their parents that are fun, interesting. And then at the end of the book, there are little games and fun facts for
so
them
nice.
also. But it's just like, there's something when little kids see themselves represented in the book.
It makes a difference.
That does something to their mind and helps them know that they can reach for the stars and be anything that they want to be, because they are not represented enough in the books that they read or the TV shows and the movies that they watch. So I wanted to do something a little bit different, you know.
I love it. I love it. This is amazing. Congratulations.
Thank
this
you.
is amazing.
Thank you.
I mean, I could see this. Is it going to be in doctor offices all over the world?
I'm hoping so.
Pediatrician offices
Libraries,
all over the world?
schools.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm hoping so.
That's
Because
amazing.
it's really, really a fun book.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun stories in there.
Yes.
And every day she goes to work. She has kids, but she goes to work. She goes to save lives. And every single day she sees a different kid with a different problem who comes in and leaves healthy. Comes in with a problem and leaves with a solution.
Yeah.
So
It's getting kids in the mindset that it's not scary to go to the doctor.
Right.
So she's saving
Right.
little kids. That's awesome. Great message. I love that.
Thank you.
Clearly, you are super passionate about what you do in this practice, and it shows in everything, how you speak about it, the 2 books that you have about it, and just your whole life purpose and everything that you put forward in this space. So it's just amazing. In terms of other areas and avenues, I know in episode 1, I mentioned you have so many great things that you're doing in your career and in your life. Any other amazing growth factors within your lifestyle or in business?
So, like I said, medicine is what I do. Medicine is not who I am. And I am
Yes.
very, very passionate about medicine.
I
But
love it.
I have different sides to me. Okay. I travel a lot. So when I do travel, I go to places that a lot of people probably would not think about going. And then I show them what there is to do, how beautiful it is to travel, why you need to travel.
Beautiful.
I also love fashion. I love hair stuff, I love shoes. I love makeup. When I have fun, I have a lot of fun.
Yes.
So when I'm not doctor, I am Eva. It's a different side of me. And then I'm a mom, so I want people to see that side. I want people to know that you can have it all. You can do it. You can really, really have anything that you want. You design the life that you want to have, and you just make it happen.
Yeah.
Whatever that means to you.
Yep.
Okay? Because it has to be tailored to your dreams, your aspirations, your goals.
I love it.
And what it means to you may not be the same for somebody else. You know what I mean? So I did a blog. I created a blog.
Nice.
And in my blog, it's a lot more fun.
Okay.
We talk about the products that I use that I like. We talk about, the stuff that I like to do for fun. We talk about why I think certain things are important topics. Like, for example, therapy. I think therapy is important. I take my kids to therapy on a regular basis.
Nice.
Because I think it's good to start early.
Yes.
So that you kind of eliminate the stigma around it. Because
totally
then they grow up
to that.
knowing that it's okay to talk to someone. It's okay to open up and get the perspective of somebody else. There's nothing wrong with that. If you start early, you teach them that it's okay.
Yes.
And they become adults that are okay with going to someone needing help or asking for help when they know they need help. So I talk about some of these things. I talk about, a lot of fun things. So the blog is a little bit less serious and a little bit more fun. And you get to see the other sides of me in the blog. And then I did the YouTube channel, which is more of the medical aspect for those who want to go to medicine. So I speak about what to study, how to take the MCAT, how to write a letter of recommendation, what schools are looking for when they're looking for a candidate, like different things like that.
Yeah,
so the
like
YouTube channel is more geared towards that side.
I love that.
Versus the blog and the newsletter is more the fun side.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Nice.
In the society that we were brought up in, it's very hard on little black boys. You have to navigate feelings and emotions so the world don't get you.
Sometimes when I cry, I won't know how I'm feeling or why I'm crying.
I just grew up never feeling like it was okay to cry.
Yeah.
And so he really forced me to have to reconnect with the kid that didn't get to cry.
That's beautiful.
We don't cry, we gon' take our piece of the pie.
Well, look, you might not be popular, but my favorite character is Celestial because
One of the quotes that I wrote down in the book that kind of stood out to me was, "Love is the enemy of sound judgment."
She seemed like a very needy woman. And I can't even respect Andre because how do you prey on your friend's wife while he's incarcerated? Like, I just can't get with that. And maybe I got too invested in the book, That's the
The blog definitely sounds like it shows how multifaceted you are. Like, I'm not just one track, Dr. Eva. I have other parts of me that are just as important to me.
Right.
And I want to share that with you guys in my audience. So it sounds like it really kind of pulls in different aspects. But you got it all You got it all together, girl. You got it all together.
I'm trying. I also coach. You know, I do a lot of
Yes.
coaching, and I have a 4-month course to where like it's a combination of courses, one-on-one coaching, community support to help those who are not doctors but want to go to medical school. So if you're a nurse or
nice.
you're a lawyer or you're an MA, whatever you are, and you decided, you know, that's not what I always wanted to do. I always wanted to be a doctor. I
love
don't know what
that.
to do now. I feel like I'm too old. I feel like I don't have the guidance, you know, then you can be a part of that group that I have. And I can help you really shift your mindset, help you know what you need to do in order to get you from point A to point B.
Yes.
So I'm really teaching you the confidence
Yes.
to know that you can do it on your own. But
Yeah.
I just have to show you how to become that confident person.
Yeah.
Because at some point I was not confident. And you can't say it. You can't even see it. At some point,
No,
it
ma'am,
was
I
really
can't.
hard for me to look at someone in the eyes and have a conversation with them. You know?
Because of lack
And
of
so,
confidence.
yeah. And so I had to learn how to change those things to become the
Wow.
person that I am today.
You know what's important about what you just said? Even growing up in a household with 2 doctors, where you felt you had an edge up a little bit because you knew the lifestyle and the concept, and then going through school, and then all the many accolades that you've probably received, and still felt some sort of lack of confidence. So it's refreshing and real and authentic to hear even someone like myself, even with everything that I was groomed with, I still had and lacked confidence, and I knew I had to build that up for myself.
Because that's something as Black women that society does to us. From when
Yes.
we're little girls, they're telling us that we're not pretty enough, we're not good enough, our hair's not good enough, we're not going to amount to anything. We can't be like Betty over there. You know, like they teach you those things when you're little. So
Or you're too
growing
pretty,
up,
so maybe you got certain privileges.
right, it's always something. And so you growing up thinking, well, can I do this? Is it my purpose? Am I just as good as them? You know, you always doubt yourself. And at some point I had to turn around and look behind me and see how far I've come, and then look in front of me and see how
much
you
more,
know,
yeah.
right, how much more I have. And then look next to me. And I realized even though there's not a lot of people that look like me in this room, I deserve to be here just like they are.
Girl,
We passed the same exams. You know, I had to go through a lot, but I'm here like you are.
Yes. That just gave me
So,
chills.
yeah.
Like, I deserve to be here. I set this
I
table
deserve
up.
to be
Right.
here. I mean,
love it.
this is my time. Just like you trying to do something, I literally had to. It took some time. It was a process.
Yeah.
It didn't happen overnight, but when I realized that, man, everything changed.
Yes, it's a game changer.
Everything changed.
I wouldn't say I'm completely on the other side of having that level of confidence, but I'm definitely on the other side. Like, I feel I've crossed the bridge of lack of confidence to being on the other side, because, and I don't know what it is. So the service that you're doing is critical and it's needed. And we need more women that look like us doing that, because I don't know what it is about our culture where we just have this low self-esteem. I mean, I do know, because the many years that in the past that has allowed us to get to the point that we are today. It's just like, man, I wish we really could get away from this stronghold of lack of confidence and
but
self-esteem.
it's society is the way the system is set up. They don't want you to know how powerful you are, because if you knew how powerful you were, man,
we would have had like 5 Black women presidents
the
at this
things
point.
you could do, and yeah, it would shift a lot of things. And they don't want you to realize that you have that power.
Nope.
That you are.
Nope.
You know.
Nope.
That person.
It would shift. The whole earth would tilt on its axis a little bit more.
So they do everything starting very little.
Yeah.
The TV shows, the things that they show you, and the things that they don't show you on purpose.
Yeah.
To kind of shift your mindset to think that they're better and you're not. So it takes a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, it does. It takes a lot of work, a lot of soul searching, a lot of internal work. And then when you get to that point where you feel like, okay, I'm in a good place where I feel like I've become enlightened in this process. Now I can go ahead and teach others, which is where you're at today, where you're like, okay, I've noticed, I've lived through some things. Now I'm a little bit more enlightened, where I have enough power and enough light source to pass on to the other women that are behind me and want to get to that space. So kudos to you for that, because it's challenging work. And even though you're a doctor of medicine practice, it requires almost like a therapeutic, like not necessarily background, but just having that, being able to say, hey, girl, I got you.
Right.
I understand. I
Right.
see you. And I
And there's
understand what you're going
nothing
through.
like experience.
Yep.
And there's nothing like having gone through it.
Yes.
You know,
Yes.
having gone through it makes me someone who knows what to do and what not to do, how to navigate the loopholes,
Yeah.
you know, to get you from that point A to that point B. And not just get you from that point A to that point B, get you there with that confidence.
Yes.
To where you're going to push that submit button and submit the
Exactly.
application and know that
Exactly.
you are going to make it in.
Yep.
And you're going to be just like everybody else
Yep.
or even better than everybody
Yes.
else.
I love it. I
Yeah.
love it. That's heartfelt. That is awesome. That's great. We get from the child book to now pushing people to their greater gift in life. So that's amazing. Anything else from the growth factor that you want to share? The blog is amazing, like I mentioned earlier.
Thank
it just
you.
has a lot of, again, shows you in a multifaceted way. It allows people to understand, hey, you could have it all. Well, we just talked through a lot of different reasons as to why you could have it all. Something else that you mentioned in terms, circling back to the kids, you have your kids in therapy. I think that's really important.
Yeah.
That's really critical, especially for young Black girls and women, but Black men as well, because there's certain stigmas out there that, or stereotypes out there that Black men don't know how to communicate, or they don't know how to do it effectively in a way where they can share their emotions. So being able to navigate that for themselves so early on is such a huge
And
piece.
there's nothing wrong with it.
Yeah.
It took a little bit of resistance at first from them because they're like, who is this person? What am I doing here?
Yeah.
But you find the right person.
Yeah.
And my kid's therapist is a Black woman.
Yes.
Okay. And because she does what she does so well, she knows exactly how to make the kids open up to her and let out whatever frustration they have. She teaches them how to deal with those frustrations and those feelings that they have.
I love it.
And then they look forward to seeing her.
That is so awesome.
They look forward to going. Like my little one asked me, when am I going to see Miss Cornell?
I love
You know,
that.
he loves it. And I'm not even in there. I just drop him off.
Yeah.
I wait in the car. They have a good time. He comes back knowing how to deal with certain things better. So the temper tantrums have gone down. And just the way he thinks and the things he does, you know, he looks forward to doing a task that she tells him to do and then coming back and saying, oh, this happened. And my brother did this to me and I was not upset.
Oh,
or
wow.
I dealt with it this
I knew
way.
how to navigate it. Yes,
You know what
that
I
is
mean?
amazing.
So it's important. And I think that a lot of us in the Black community, we don't go to the doctor, that's one.
Yeah.
But we definitely don't go to therapy.
Yeah.
Because
Yep.
what is therapy?
Yep.
Go
There's
to
so
church
many
and pray
negative-
about
yep.
it. Go
Yep.
talk to your friends about it. But do not go to a therapist
Yep.
because then they're going to call you crazy
The
and they're
first
going to say
thing.
all these things that are negative. But just like you want to take care of your physical body, you have to take care of your mind too. There's nothing wrong with that because the
Yes.
mind trickles down to the body.
It does.
It does. And so it's good to have somebody's perspective, an expert's perspective.
Yeah.
Not a friend's opinion or perspective, but an expert.
Yep.
And it really does good.
That's amazing.
One of Dr. Gino's strengths in his preaching to me is his ability to situate the listener.
Transition is hard. In fact, I dare say that it's one of the most difficult things to do. And I mean, in a real sense, it is so hard that in one it produces fear.
You pick an image that we all can relate to. What do you love most about your practice of African American preaching? Go.
My practice of African American preaching is steeped in Zora Neale Hurston's Negro expression. When we sing a song, it's sung a lot differently. When we do a dance, it's done a lot differently. When we preach a sermon, it's done a lot differently because we take it through our struggle and we adorn it and beautify it. And we've had to dare to find God and mine hope so that we might be able to know that the trouble that we go through doesn't last always.
Honey, what I think you need is a socket wrench.
I played JV basketball.
I'm sorry. I don't think it looks right.
This is good, and it's all good, baby.
Is it really all good?
If you love me enough to routinely test your handyman skills, not to mention the strength of your marriage, then of course you'll visit nhtsa.gov/the right seat to make sure I'm in the right car seat.
I'm gonna call my dad.
Is love transactional?
What is it? It's so good when you loving somebody and somebody loves you back. You know, you want that and somebody loves you back part.
What is love?
I feel like we just opened up the miseducation of Lauryn Hill.
That's amazing. And I think to your point, a lot of people just don't do it because certain stigmas that we have.
The stigma behind it.
And I thought it was interesting, even, which I thought was very proactive and well before her time, Beyonce's mother, Miss Tina Knowles, actually put them in therapy when they were kids.
That's right.
So when I
She
heard
did
that, I'm
talk
like,
about
she
that.
was before her time.
Yeah.
Because, you know, she knew that they were going to do something. She didn't know they were going to be Solange and Beyonce were going to be at the level that they are today. But she was like, they're already doing things. They're in the limelight. Let me start them early with therapy because I don't know where this is going, but I feel like it's important. So to your point of making sure it's driving that early so they understand how to navigate their emotions later on in life is just like, wow.
Right.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's
it starts
amazing.
with the little ones.
Yes.
For sure.
Yes. Well, Dr. Eva, there's so much more I want to cover. I know we only have a few more minutes of your time, but I do want to cover any other, let's say some tips to sustain having a multifaceted lifestyle and business, being able to balance both wife life and mom life and a career and be present consistently and on social media and different platforms. Any advice when it comes to sustaining it all outside of making sure you are able to delegate it to a team, making sure that you're consistent? Anything else you want to cover and share there?
Number one, I would say you at the top of the pyramid. Without you, nothing else underneath happens.
Yeah.
So taking care of yourself, like now I'm more mindful of what does Ava need today, you know? So I pay more attention to that because as Black women and as mothers, we're so used to giving ourselves every day to others, to the kids, to the husband, to work, and we don't do nothing for ourselves. But now, I do everything for me first. I come first, and then everything else comes second, third, fourth, you know. That's one. Number two, you can't do everything at the same time. And so I have a to-do list that...
Nice.
Yeah, so I start from the top to the bottom.
Yes.
What's priority at the top, what's less priority at the bottom. And that's how I work my way through it. I do the first 3 tasks for the day. If I can get to 4, 5, 6, great. And if I don't, well, that becomes the priority the next day.
Yeah.
I don't try to stress myself out to do everything because at some point, you're gonna have to turn off the computer, close the phone, shut down the emails, and attend to the other things that you have to do, like the kids and you know, whatever it is that you have to do. So not putting that much pressure on ourselves is important. And then, like I said, consistency is key.
Yes. I love it. I love it. Well, I hope you guys took to heart a lot of the information that was shared today. Dr. Eva, I truly appreciate your time, being so candid with us. I mean, the information that you shared, I'm guessing is also somewhat part of your 4-month course that you provide, and a lot more deeper details. But I just truly appreciate your time and being able to be so candid and open and sharing this information with us.
Thank you so much for having me.
I really hope that you guys at home appreciated this as much as I did, because this has been amazing. So Dr. Eva, thank you again. You guys at home, stay tuned for more episodes of Boss Up, and we will see you next week.